Welcome back to the Wilkinson Cameras channel. I'm Alex and this is Olivia, and we've got 3 brand new lenses from Canon to talk about. They're all RF L series lenses with 1 zoom and 2 primes. First up is the new RF 70-200 F2.8L IS USM Z lens. It's Canon's second hybrid zoom lens, following on from the RF 24-105 F2.8L IS USM Z lens, which was released about a year ago. The other 2 lenses launched today are 2 new f1.4 prime lenses, which are the RF 24mm f1.4L VCM and the RF 50mm f1.4 VCM lens. These follow on from the RF 35 1.4 VCM, which launched earlier this year. We've got a separate video for these, so if you're here for those lenses, then please go and check that out.
But now let's talk about the new RF 70-200mm f2.8L IS USM Z lens. It's a professional telephoto zoom lens designed to excel in both video and stills. And don't worry, this is not replacing the existing RF 70-200 f2.8L series lens. This is an addition to the lineup and it offers a few different benefits and features. For one, it works with RF teleconverters, which the existing RF 70-200 f2.8 doesn't, but more on that later. We've shot all of our sample footage at Glass Forum near Blackpool, where glass artist John Ditchfield very kindly welcomed us into his studio to watch him at work.
You're probably going to hear a little bit more from me today than Liv, because she is a bit poorly. And first things first, we do have to let you know that the lens we used for our sample video and stills was a pre-production beta sample, and as such might not represent the final quality of the production lens. We often have to say this, and as yet we've never actually had bad results from one of these pre-production models, and this hasn't been an exception to that rule. You'll also notice in our footage that it's not white. Well, Canon are actually releasing this in both black and white options, and to my knowledge this is the first time Canon have done that, and maybe you're wondering why. Well, this lens is going to appeal to both stills photographers and videographers, and Canon think, as do we, that the white lens is going to appeal to the professionals and enthusiast photographers for a number of reasons. 1, it's designed to reflect heat in sunny environments, and 2, it looks like a pro lens. People love a white lens for that reason. But why would a videographer want a black lens instead of a white lens? Well, white lenses are nowhere near as discreet for a start, but they can also introduce unwanted reflections. Canon are really thinking about their audiences here.
The first thing you're going to notice, aside from the colour, is that it looks more like a traditional 70-200mm f2.8. In fact, it looks remarkably like the old EF 70-200 f2.8L IS USM Mark III lens in terms of size. This lens is a lot lighter though, and better balanced, weighing in just 1,110 grams in black and 1,115 grams in white. Looks like that coating adds another 5 grams on. The old EF lens weighed just short of 1.5 kilos. For comparison, the existing RF 70-200 f2.8L IS USM lens weighs 1,070 grams. So there's a difference in weight between the two.
Just touching on the difference between the existing RF 70-200mm f2.8 and what I'll probably refer to as the 70-200 f2.8L Z, or simply the Z lens from now on, you'll see that the new 70-200 Z is an internal zoom versus the extending style on the existing 70-200 f2.8L. Now, Olivia and I usually agree on most things, but this lens has proved quite divisive. Liv prefers the compact design of the existing lens and likes the fact that it extends during use. I like that the new Z lens is an internal zoom, and I don't really care how big it is in my bag if it's going to be twice the size during use. The new Z lens also has an iris ring for controlling aperture, and there's 2 important things to note with this. 1, at the time that this is being filmed, you can only use this to change the aperture for still shooting if you have an EOS R5 Mark II or an EOS R1. So that's about 95% of current Canon users ruled out. I found that super frustrating because I was using the R6 Mark II and I was switching between stills and video. I'm used to lenses with an aperture ring, and the fact that this had one but I couldn't use it drove me mad. When I reviewed the RF 24-105 f2.8L Z lens at launch, I did remark on the Aperture ring not working for stills, but back then I thought I was either being a bit thick or that my pre-production lens maybe wasn't working properly. It turns out they just don't work in stills mode on non-2024 cameras. I've asked Canon if this will come to older models in the future, and my contact said they hope so, as they do understand that it is quite frustrating. So nothing conclusive, but hopefully we'll see that in the future. The second thing I don't love about the Iris ring is that it's not clicky, for lack of a better word. Other brands have smooth rings, which can also become tactile clicked rings. And I really miss this. And also I kept knocking it by mistake, which I think Olivia did as well. I do have a feeling that existing Canon users may not be that bothered because they're not used to having Aperture rings. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I right there? What are your thoughts? So the 70-200L Z lens, along with the RF 24-105 F2.8L Z lens, are both hybrid zoom lenses, which means that they're designed for superb stills and video performance, and to appeal to professionals who shoot both stills and video. I suspect that going forward we're going to see more of the L series having this design, because why not? It just makes sense to have these features, and other brands like Sony have focused on this for quite a while now. Canon's hybrid lenses are designed to have minimal focus breathing. They all feature stepless iris rings, smooth and fast AF, and what Canon call a cinematic look. Lens metadata for video, and the Z lenses are also compatible with the Canon PZ E2 and PZ E2B power zoom adapter. The power zoom adapter attaches to the RF 70-200Z or the RF 24-105 f2.8L Z lens and allows you to have both smooth and precise zoom operation either by hand or remotely. Another area where Liv and I didn't really agree here. I really like this addition to the lens. Normally you just don't really zoom in video, it's just not done because as humans we can't do it very well, not by hand anyway. I love that I could use this to add an extra dimension to the video. You can control the speed of the zoom and the controls are really well thought out, quite ergonomic, so that you can balance the lens in your hand and operate the zoom. And obviously on a tripod or operating remotely this makes it even easier. But Liv thought that this was bulky and just basically a bit of a pain, and she'd rather just add a similar effect in post. And when I tell her that this unit starts at £1,150, I think this might further cement her thoughts on this.
Agreed.
On the C70 and C80, I think actually the R5 as well, but I do need to check that. You can also assign zoom operation to buttons in the camera as well when you have the power zoom attachment. The
travel between 70mm and 200mm is very minimal, so much that you don't have to change my hand position at all when doing video or stills. This is great for handheld video where I am trying to keep as stable as possible and allows me to adjust the framing without really moving the camera or taking my eyes off the subject. For still shooters, this again means no losing your subject as you move your hand. It's a one-touch thumb operation to very quickly adjust the zoom, and you'll see that a tripod collar is included, and we use this to hold the lens and to stabilize it. This is a big lens, and after a while you start to feel it. More so than still shooters because you are stabilizing your whole body and the camera when filming video without a tripod. Of course, being an L lens, it also comes with a lens hood and a padded bag too. It's an L series lens, it's built to be a workhorse, so the lens mount is metal and weather sealed. Everything about it feels good quality, it feels solid. It's got all the buttons you'd expect, including focus limiters, AF/MF switch, custom buttons, control rings, and the iris ring, as we've already mentioned. And you'll have guessed from the name that it also has image stabilization. 5.5 stops on the lens, but pair it with cameras with IBIS and you're talking 7.5 stops of IBIS.
But what about the really important stuff, image quality and autofocus? This lens is made of aspheric Super UD and UD elements to ensure maximum sharpness. There's 3 spherical elements to correct spherical aberrations, ASC coating and super spectra coatings, which are designed to reduce ghosting and flare. In short, this is an L series lens and it's designed with professionals in mind. Our sample images are really pleasing and sharp throughout. Bokeh is silky smooth and really pleasing thanks to an 11 blade aperture ring. The existing RF 70-200 f2.8 is only a 9 blade aperture ring. Autofocus is fast and precise, and it's also silent thanks to dual nano USM motors. Now, we weren't doing super fast action today, but we were in some changeable lighting, and I never once found it hunting. It was just very rapid. It was exactly as expected. You can also see in our AF test that it's not hunting, it's just locked on at all times. Focus pulls are smooth with no focus breathing thanks to electronic parfocal performance and optical focus breathing suppression. Actually, for a lens of this focal length, focus breathing, or lack of, was very impressive. You can also combine this with digital focus breathing correction in compatible cameras as well. So I'm actually just going to insert a little moan about focus breathing. It's something that we talk about in every video because it's something manufacturers are trying to move with every lens released. But I see it all the time in films and TV, and sometimes it's used for artistic effect. Are we overthinking this? Like, do we need to think about it as much as we do? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd argue it's more important for focus stacking than it is for video, but let's open that debate up to you guys in the comments section.
So on to the big one, the price, and it is big. We've been told that in the UK it will launch at $3,639. Ouch. Now, I must say that this isn't confirmed at the time that we're filming this, so please use the links in the description below to see the current price. The existing RF 70-200mm f2.8L IS USM is currently $2,999. So this new RF Z lens is around £600 more, and that's £600 more than an already very pricey lens. So the question is it worth it? If you're a professional hybrid shooter or videographer, then honestly, I think it is.
Yeah, I would agree. It's designed to outperform the existing lens in these areas, the areas where you're going to be looking for differences. For professionals in this area, whether you're in journalism, events, corporate work, advertising, similar areas, you're going to want these extra features, including the reduced focal breathing, the lens metadata, the iris ring, the more cinematic look. You probably don't care that it doesn't compact down small for travel. I don't think it should even be a question choosing between this and the existing f2.8. If you don't have the old one and you want to add a 70-200mm lens to your kit, then add this. For still shooters, that teleconverter compatibility is going to be extremely tempting as well. Yes, it is around £1,200 more when you factor in a teleconverter as well, but really that's getting you 2 really nice lenses to choose from.
But if you're predominantly a still shooter and you're not bothered about using a teleconverter, or size for travel is really crucial for you, then you'll want to stick to the existing 70-200mm f2.8L lens.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I am so happy with the results from this lens. For stills and video, 70-200 f2.8 is my all-time favourite lens in any brand. I love being able to get either nice and close to a subject, or as I like to joke quite often, I like to lurk in the background and get candid shots. I can't wait to get this back, maybe as for a versus video between this and the current f2.8L lens at some point. What do you think?
To be fair, I agree with everything that you've probably just said. The power zoom accessory took me a while to get used to, but once I did, I really did enjoy using it for video alongside the new lens. It was hard work because it was quite bulky at that point, but once you get used to it, it's absolutely fine. But like you, Alex, I really enjoyed the video we shot with it and the stills. So we'd love to hear from you in the comments, so please let us know your thoughts on this lens or anything you've seen in the video today. And of course, we always ask, but we're growing our channel, so please don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more.
Yes, please give us a little thumbs up. And remember, if you're in the UK, that you can shop with us as well. We're a privately owned company based in the Northwest, and we specialise in offering proper northern friendliness and great customer service. We've also put a link below to Glassform if you want to buy anything off their, any of their amazing artworks as well. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you very soon.